It's remarkable how many of us have been led to believe that declining bone health is an inevitable part of aging. You might have heard friends or even some doctors say, well, you're in your 70s now. This is just part of getting older. The truth is, while bone density naturally decreases over time, there are effective ways to maintain and even improve it, long after many people have given up hope. I've spent years exploring holistic wellness approaches, observing how simple lifestyle modifications can turn the tide on some of the most common age-related challenges. Through that journey, I've come to understand that our bones aren't just rigid structures holding us up. They're living tissues that respond to our habits, our nutrition, and even our mindset. A common challenge many older adults face is feeling that it's too late to make meaningful changes. You might be 65, 75, or even 80 thinking, if I haven't built strong bones by now, there's not much I can do. Or maybe you've been told that fragile bones come with the territory of getting older, especially if you've had a fracture or a close call that frightened you. But consider this. Your body is constantly renewing itself. Bones undergo a continuous process of breakdown and rebuilding called remodeling. And while this process does slow down with age, it doesn't stop, meaning you still have the power to influence it. Addressing bone density isn't just about avoiding fractures, although that's a huge benefit. It's also about staying active, independent, and enjoying life on your own terms. Think of the joy in being able to play on the floor with your grandkids, tend to your beloved garden, or climb stairs without fear. Having stronger bones can reduce worries about everyday activities, like walking outside or carrying groceries from the car. There's a real emotional lift that comes with feeling more confident in your body. Today, we're going to dive into 8 natural approaches that can make a significant difference. We'll look at everything from gentle exercises that are surprisingly powerful to nutritional tweaks that can support bone strength. We'll also address how stress levels and quality of sleep fit into the bone health equation, topics not everyone associates with stronger bones. Along the way, I'll share stories of seniors who discovered that it truly isn't too late to start building bone density. My hope is that by the time we're done, you'll feel not only informed, but genuinely inspired to take one step, or several, towards stronger bones. Remember, the information I'm sharing is based on extensive research and experience, yet it's not intended to replace the advice of your doctor or specialist. In fact, part of taking charge of your well-being is finding a healthcare provider who respects your desire to remain active and who can tailor these insights to your unique situation. Feel free to ask questions, take notes, or even pause to reflect on how these ideas fit into your own life. This is about your journey toward healthier bones, greater mobility, and a lifestyle that celebrates your independence. Now let's explore these 8 effective ways to boost bone density, naturally and holistically, even if you're 80 or beyond. Whether you implement one strategy or all of them, each has the potential to reshape how you experience aging. Are you ready to discover how a stronger body can transform your quality of life? First, let's challenge one of the biggest misconceptions about movement and bone health. Many seniors believe that high-impact or even moderate exercise is dangerous because it might lead to falls or injuries. While it's wise to be cautious, that doesn't mean avoiding movement altogether is the solution. In fact, certain kinds of weight-bearing exercises, tailored to your abilities, can stimulate your bones to become denser. Take Harold, for instance. He's 78 and used to be an avid walker. After a minor fall last year, he started avoiding long walks, fearing another accident. Over time, his bones weakened further due to inactivity. Then he tried an approach guided by a senior fitness specialist, involving simple activities like standing calf raises, gentle stair climbing, and assisted squats using a sturdy chair. At first, Harold assumed these movements were too small to matter. But after a few weeks of consistent practice, he noticed less stiffness in his knees and a subtle increase in stamina. More importantly, his confidence improved. He realized that by engaging in regular, low-impact weight-bearing movements, he was giving his bones a signal to stay strong. The science behind this is straightforward. Bones adapt to the forces placed upon them. When you perform weight-bearing exercises, whether that's walking, light hiking, or carefully monitored resistance movements, your bones receive a clear message that they need to fortify themselves to handle these loads. It's similar to how muscles grow stronger when you exercise. This doesn't mean you should rush into jumping jacks if you haven't done them in decades, but it does mean introducing gentle but consistent stress to your bones. Practically, you can start small. Perhaps it's a short daily walk around your block or marching in place while holding onto a kitchen counter. If you have access to a pool, consider water walking, which offers resistance without the full impact on your joints. The aim is to challenge your bones in a way that's safe yet effective for your current fitness level. Over time, you can increase the duration or resistance. One of the biggest benefits of embracing weight-bearing exercises, beyond improved bone density, is the boost in your overall sense of independence. You'll likely notice day-to-day tasks becoming easier, from climbing stairs to reaching for items on a high shelf. Emotionally, you might find a renewed sense of self-reliance. The feeling that your body, despite its age, is still capable of growth and adaptation. A key takeaway here is that consistent, gentle challenge to your bones can be a game changer, transforming a life limited by fear into one driven by capability. Let's move on and talk about another misconception that might be holding you back. The idea that building bone density only happens in gyms with heavy weights. Many seniors believe they have to pump iron or work with machines if they want to see results. While that's one path, there's a more adaptable approach that fits seamlessly into everyday life. Resistance training isn't just about barbells and dumbbells. It can be as simple as using resistance bands or leveraging your body weight in a controlled manner. Carol is 82 and has arthritis in her knees. She used to think resistance training was out of reach, but then she found a community exercise class tailored for seniors, using resistance bands of varying strengths. The instructor walked the class through slow, controlled movements that targeted key muscle groups like the thighs, hips, and core, areas crucial for mobility and balance. Despite her initial nervousness, Carol discovered that these exercises were not just doable, but also surprisingly enjoyable. She felt her posture improve and her knees become more stable. A few months into the program, Carol visited her doctor, who noted that her bone density scans had improved slightly compared to the previous year. While it wasn't a massive jump, it was a clear indicator that her efforts were paying off. Resistance training works by placing a steady load on both your muscles and bones. When muscles pull on bones to lift or resist a force, bones respond by creating new tissue, reinforcing the areas under stress. This process continues into our later years, although it may be slower. The key is consistency and proper form. Doing a few sets of band exercises or bodyweight squats a couple of times a week can be enough to send the right signals to your bones. When trying this approach, focus on muscle groups that support your day-to-day activities. For many seniors, strengthening the legs, hips, and back has a direct impact on walking stability and posture. Using a band or even small hand weights for basic arm exercises can make tasks like lifting groceries feel less daunting. And if you're worried about strain, you can start with very light resistance, gradually increasing as your muscles adapt. Resistance training doesn't just strengthen bones and muscles. It often improves coordination and balance too. This can reduce the risk of falls, a crucial factor in protecting your bones from fractures. Emotionally, participants frequently report a sense of accomplishment, which combats the feeling of being too old to try something new. The realization that you can safely challenge your body to get stronger is liberating. It's an important reminder that age isn't a complete barrier. Adaptation is always possible. Before we go further, I'd love to know if you've ever tried resistance bands or gentle strength exercises. What was your experience like? Think about your own mobility goals and consider how a simple, regular routine could help support not only your bones, but also your overall well-being. Now let's discuss a major point of confusion for many seniors: the role of calcium and vitamin D in bone health. There's a widespread misconception that simply gulping down glasses of milk or taking a once-a-day supplement is enough to ensure healthy bones. While calcium and vitamin D are indeed crucial, how you incorporate them into your diet and lifestyle matters much more than just popping a pill every now and then. Meet Ernest, 76, who had been taking a calcium supplement for years because he read somewhere that it was the magic bullet for his bones. Despite that, his doctor noted his bone density was steadily declining. Perplexed, Ernest consulted a nutrition-savvy healthcare provider who explored his eating habits and medication list. They discovered he wasn't getting enough vitamin D, which is essential for calcium absorption. Even though he spent time outdoors, he often wore protective clothing and a hat, limiting sun exposure. On top of that, his diet lacked a variety of calcium sources. He relied almost exclusively on milk and didn't diversify with leafy greens or fortified foods. The solution was multi-layered. Ernest began taking a balanced supplement that combined calcium with vitamin D, magnesium, and vitamin K2. He also included more plant-based calcium sources in his diet, such as kale, broccoli, and almonds. After a few months, he felt more energized, and subsequent tests showed that his bone density was holding steady, no longer in decline. That stabilization alone gave Ernest a significant emotional boost because he felt more in control of his health journey. The takeaway is that calcium doesn't work in isolation. Vitamin D aids calcium absorption from the intestines. Magnesium helps in the conversion of vitamin D into its active form, and vitamin K2 guides calcium into the bones rather than letting it accumulate in arteries or other tissues. So a holistic view of nutrition is important. You might choose to get these nutrients from food sources, like fatty fish for vitamin D, nuts and seeds for magnesium, and fermented foods for K2, or you could work with a healthcare provider to find a balanced supplement. The key is synergy among these nutrients. One practical step is to review your meal plan for the week. Are there days when you can swap out a less nutritious side dish for steamed broccoli or kale? Could you add a handful of almonds or sesame seeds to a salad for an extra calcium and magnesium boost? If you're unsure about your vitamin D levels, speak to your doctor about a blood test. Many older adults are deficient without realizing it. As you embrace a more nutrient-dense way of eating, you'll not only support your bones but also enhance your energy levels, immune function, and overall vitality. The emotional benefit. When you nourish your body effectively, you start to feel more vibrant, and that can shift your mindset from one of worry to one of proactive empowerment. Building on the importance of a well-rounded diet, let's address another piece of the puzzle, the role of protein and collagen. There's a common myth that high protein intake might leach calcium from your bones. This oversimplification has led some seniors to avoid protein-rich foods, fearing they're harming their bones by eating, say, chicken or beans in large amounts. However, emerging views suggest that adequate protein is actually essential for bone health, provided you balance it with other nutrients and hydration. Consider Ruth, a 70-year-old who cut down on protein after reading articles suggesting too much animal protein was bad for bones. She replaced her protein sources with refined carbs, thinking it was a safer choice. Over time, she noticed she felt weaker and found it harder to do simple tasks like carrying groceries. When she consulted a dietitian, she learned that protein is a building block not only for muscles, but also for the collagen matrix in bones. Without enough protein, bones can become more brittle. Collagen is a specific type of protein that forms a fibrous network inside your bones, acting as the scaffolding on which minerals like calcium and phosphorus are laid down. You can boost collagen by consuming bone broth, fish, chicken, or even collagen peptides. If you're vegetarian, you can focus on a variety of protein sources like legumes, tofu, tempeh, and seeds. While the collagen content might differ, ensuring you're getting adequate protein overall still supports bone strength. For seniors, the recommended protein intake can be slightly higher than for younger adults. This is because protein turnover and muscle synthesis slow with age. Before radically changing your diet, it's always wise to chat with a healthcare professional, especially if you have kidney issues or other medical conditions that affect protein metabolism. But for many older adults, increasing protein intake can lead to better muscle mass, which in turn supports bone density. Emotionally, regaining strength can be transformative. Just imagine the pride you'll feel when you realize you can lift heavier groceries or walk longer distances without fatigue. If you're new to boosting your protein, try small changes. Add a scoop of collagen peptide to your morning coffee or tea, incorporate a bit more fish or poultry into dinner, or sprinkle chia and pumpkin seeds on salads and oatmeal. Every small effort helps create a more robust framework for your bones to thrive. Now, because we've talked about diet and movement, it's easy to forget that your mental and emotional state also plays a powerful role in bone health. Chronic stress can cause hormonal shifts, like elevated cortisol, that may weaken bones over time. Many people mistakenly believe stress primarily affects the heart and mind, but it can also undermine bone density if it becomes a long-term issue. Robert, 75, was caring for his spouse, who had a chronic health condition. The emotional toll was significant, and Robert found himself constantly stressed, sleeping poorly, and skipping meals. During his yearly checkup, tests showed a noticeable drop in his bone density. His doctor explained that high stress could be contributing to inflammation and hormonal imbalances, which might accelerate bone loss. Determined to reverse this trend, Robert found ways to manage stress. He took up short meditation sessions in the morning, joined a caregiver support group, and even practiced gentle yoga at home. Within a couple of months, Robert reported sleeping better and feeling more emotionally balanced. While it's not a quick fix for bone density, reducing stress and improving sleep quality supports the body's natural repair processes. During deep sleep, your body produces growth hormone, essential for tissue repair. If you're constantly skimping on rest or living in a state of high anxiety, you're depriving your bones of the best possible environment for regeneration. One practical way to manage stress is to designate regular unplugged times. Moments in the day when you step away from TV, phone, or other devices and allow your mind to rest. You could take a relaxing bath, listen to soothing music, or just focus on slow, deep breathing. Engaging in hobbies that relax you, like painting, knitting, or journaling, can also lower stress hormones. If stress or anxiety feels overwhelming, consider talking with a counselor or mental health professional. Emotional well-being is a cornerstone of physical health, especially as we age. When stress is under control and sleep is prioritized, you'll likely notice improvements not only in your bone health, but in your overall resilience. Daily tasks feel less daunting, and you might find yourself enjoying simpler pleasures again. Remember, your bones respond to the signals you send them, and those signals include the hormonal messages influenced by stress and rest patterns. I'm curious, when life gets overwhelming, what has helped you unwind and recharge in the past? Reintroducing or expanding those coping strategies could do wonders for both your emotional state and your bone health. Building strong bones also relates to how much sunlight you get, but there's a tricky balance here. Older adults are often advised to limit sun exposure to protect the skin, while at the same time, sunlight is our most natural and efficient source of vitamin D. The misunderstanding arises when people assume that they must either bake in the sun or avoid it entirely. The reality is more nuanced. Take Anita, 77, who lived in a sunny area yet rarely went outdoors without a wide-brimmed hat, long sleeves, and sunscreen. Her fear of sun damage led her to effectively block out nearly all sunlight from her skin. While she was diligent about preventing wrinkles and sunspots, a blood test revealed a severe vitamin D deficiency. Her doctor explained that even 10 to 15 minutes of early morning or late afternoon sun, with some skin exposed, could help her body naturally produce vitamin D without significantly increasing the risk of sun damage. Anita adjusted her routine accordingly, taking short, mindful walks in the morning sunlight. Over a few months, her vitamin D levels improved, which helped her body utilize calcium more effectively for bone health. If getting outside isn't feasible for you due to mobility challenges or climate, dietary vitamin D and supplements might be a safer bet. However, a bit of sunshine can not only lift your spirits, but also support bone density, provided you find that moderate, safe window. You might discover an added emotional benefit too. Enjoying a gentle breeze and the warmth of the sun on your skin can lower stress levels, improving your overall sense of well-being. Remember to time it wisely. Midday sun can be harsher, so consider morning or late afternoon walks. Use sunscreen after those initial few minutes if you're staying out longer. If you're not sure how much sun is right for you, consult a healthcare professional to balance your individual needs for vitamin D with skin protection guidelines. Even that small shift of taking advantage of gentle sunlight can act like a reset button for your mood, potentially making you more motivated to follow your other bone health strategies. Let's talk about something else that might surprise you when it comes to bone density: the power of balance and posture exercises. Many seniors assume that once posture begins to slump or balance wavers, there's not much that can be done. Yet targeted stretching and posture-focused movements, like Tai Chi, gentle yoga, or Pilates-inspired routines, can realign your skeletal structure and reduce undue stress on certain bones. For example, Lucy, 74, found her upper back starting to hunch forward, something often referred to as dowager's hump. Her doctor explained that posture issues aren't just cosmetic. They can contribute to spinal stress and an increased risk of vertebral fractures. Lucy enrolled in a gentle yoga class geared towards seniors, focusing on postures that opened her chest, strengthened her core, and encouraged better spinal alignment. Over weeks of practice, she noticed less strain in her shoulders and lower back. While her bone density scan results weren't immediate, Lucy felt physically taller and more stable. This bolstered her confidence, and she became more active in her everyday life, walking more, playing with her grandkids in the yard, and generally moving without fear. Why does posture matter for bone density? When your spine is misaligned, certain vertebrae and surrounding tissues bear more pressure than they're designed for, potentially weakening over time. Stretching exercises and posture training distribute your body's weight more evenly. It's akin to ensuring all parts of a bridge share the load, preventing cracks or collapses in the structure. Plus, these exercises can help improve balance, reducing the likelihood of falls that can lead to fractures. Implementation doesn't have to be complicated. Start by setting aside a few minutes every day to stand against a wall, aligning the back of your head, shoulders, and hips. Practice gentle neck stretches, shoulder rolls, and hip opening exercises. If you're up for a class, look for those specifically designed for seniors, as instructors in those classes typically provide modifications for different mobility levels. The emotional lift of standing straighter, breathing more fully, and moving with ease can be immediate. You'll feel a renewed sense of control over your body, a powerful antidote to the notion that aging must always mean physical decline. We're nearing the end of our journey through these strategies, so I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried any posture exercises or routines like Tai Chi or yoga? If so, how did it make you feel? Reflect on whether adding a small routine to your day might fit into your bone health toolkit. Finally, let's address one of the most overlooked aspects of senior health: social connection and community involvement. Many people think of bone health as a solo endeavor, something you work on by taking supplements and doing exercises at home. But isolation and loneliness can indirectly harm bone density too. When you're socially isolated, you may be less motivated to stay active, more prone to depression or chronic stress, and less likely to keep up with nutritious meals. All these factors can erode your bone health over time. Thomas, 79, retired and found himself spending most days alone. His children lived out of state, and he seldom left the house. His motivation to exercise waned, and so did his attention to a balanced diet. At his annual physical, test results showed declining bone density and a marked increase in stress hormones. Concerned, Thomas joined a local senior walking club and began participating in community cooking classes. The group walks gave him a reason to get outside, engage in weight-bearing activity, and forge new friendships. The cooking classes sparked his interest in nutritious recipes. Over time, Thomas regained both a sense of purpose and a measurable improvement in his bone density scans. Social engagement doesn't mean you have to be the life of the party. It could be as simple as finding one or two activities you truly enjoy. Maybe it's a gardening club, a book group, or a senior choir. These gatherings often introduce a routine, helping you stay on track with healthy habits. Shared experiences can also amplify motivation. When you see someone your age successfully implementing a bone-strengthening strategy, it reinforces your own belief that you too can do it. It's a subtle form of accountability that can be more powerful than going it alone. The emotional payoff is enormous. Feeling connected reduces stress and boosts endorphins, creating a positive feedback loop that supports all the other bone-building efforts you're making. Whether it's cooking together, walking in the park, or simply sharing stories, being part of a community can rejuvenate your mindset. Instead of seeing exercise or diet changes as chores, you start viewing them as social activities that you genuinely look forward to each week. And that brings us to a moment of reflection. Which community activities have you enjoyed in the past? And how can you reintroduce them or find new ones that match your current interests and mobility? You might be pleasantly surprised at how much fun it can be to pursue better bone health when you do it in the company of others. We've journeyed through 8 distinct strategies that can help fortify your bones, even if you're well into your 70s, 80s, or beyond. Think about how each point we explored, weight-bearing exercises, gentle resistance training, balanced nutrition with calcium and vitamin D, adequate protein and collagen, managing stress and improving sleep, harnessing safe sunlight exposure, practicing posture and balance exercises, and staying socially engaged could weave into your daily life. While it might feel like a lot at first, remember that these methods are interconnected. Making a small change in one area often creates positive ripples in another. Now is an excellent time to revisit why it's so crucial to address bone density head-on. The ability to move freely, maintain balance, and feel confident in your own body are priceless benefits, especially as we age. Each new day is an opportunity to nurture that sense of independence. By delaying or preventing the decline in bone density, you also reduce the likelihood of fractures that can significantly alter your lifestyle. The urgency here isn't about instilling fear. It's about recognizing the profound difference these steps can make in your quality of life. Don't wait for a fracture or a scare to motivate you. Proactive action can save you discomfort, worry, and potential loss of mobility down the line. Imagine 6 months from now, you've started a gentle resistance band routine, adjusted your diet to include more calcium-rich vegetables, taken a daily walk during the morning sun, and joined a local walking club. How might you feel physically? Perhaps you'd climb stairs without huffing and puffing or feel steadier on your feet. And emotionally? Maybe you'd wake up with a sense of excitement for the day, knowing you're doing everything in your power to stay robust and independent. If you're ready to take the plunge, pick 1 or 2 strategies and implement them this week. Maybe it's as simple as adding a short walk around your neighborhood or replacing a sugary snack with a handful of almonds. Once you get comfortable, layer on another habit. If you have concerns or unique health conditions, consult a healthcare provider who appreciates your commitment to staying active and strong. Ask them to tailor these suggestions to your specific needs. On a broader level, if you found value here, consider sharing this message with friends or loved ones who may also benefit. Invite them to join you on a virtual or in-person challenge, a group walk, a shared cooking session, or even a small support circle to talk about stress management techniques. The more you share, the more supported you'll feel in your journey toward better bone health. Above all, remember that you are not defined by your age. Your bones, like the rest of your body, are still receptive to the cues you give them. Every positive change, no matter how small, adds up to a life that's more vibrant, secure, and fulfilling. This is your life, and you hold the power to shape it in ways that defy those old myths about aging. Keep believing in your ability to grow, to adapt, and to thrive. Your bones will thank you for it, and so will your future self.